So during our show yesterday, we were excited, of course, what was going to happen with El Salvador rolling out Bitcoin as legal tender. And then just as we ended the show, I mean, not too long after that, I was doing some stuff with the family and looked up and I was like, holy smokes, what just happened to Bitcoin? Plummeted. I mean, look at this huge dive down to 43,000 from 52. Huge plummet in just minutes. And
right after I purchased.
No. You purchased it after.
Okay, that's
true. Ideally, you would have bought the 43,000, right in that level. I missed the dip too. I bought it like 46 or something like that, right in there. So I bought a little bit of the dip. Now I'm just waiting for it to go back up. But anyway, and a lot of institutions, a lot of big banks and companies bought the dip yesterday as well because they know it's gone back up. And projections have Bitcoin hitting 100,000 by the end of the year. So this is just a minor blip. But look, the eyes of the world yesterday were on El Salvador. And they were on El Salvador's rollout of Bitcoin as legal tender. So this was ill-timed. Whatever happened, it was not pretty. And it does remind us of why like software programs have beta testers, doesn't it? Like, hey, we're rolling this thing out, and there was a lot of glitches and problems in El Salvador.
I wonder if that pizza lady was like, "Oh, Dios mío."
Oh, no, I had $45 in Bitcoin. Now I have nothing. I don't know what kind of accent that is. It sounds like the Three Amigos bartender guy. Yeah. But you speak Spanish, so
my little buttercup.
Your family's from Costa Rica, right? So
yes.
Is it similar dialect to the Spanish in El Salvador?
I believe so. I would think so. Like, I don't know, because I would have thought the same thing about Brazil and all that, but they speak Portuguese, right?
Yeah,
so
Brazilian
it's like,
Portuguese, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, El Salvador on Tuesday, yes, became the first country to adopt it as legal tender. Bitcoin did. And crypto bulls were ready for the bounce. I was. The country was about to roll out $30 to all of its citizens at about 5 p.m. Eastern time is when it became official. Instead, what happened is technical glitches plagued the rollout. And the Salvadoran government then took the dramatic step of disconnecting the crypto wallet that was being used for the project and then announced it was running tests to make sure there wasn't any other problems. Whoops. So not good on your first day. Imagine that, though, like millions of people suddenly being locked out of their money. It's not a great first impression. Now, you may say, well, what happened here? Was this because of El Salvador's rollout that we hit this wall? Maybe, maybe not. I heard from a viewer, Daryl, who wrote me this morning and said, it's not as a result of what happened in El Salvador that Bitcoin plunged as much as 17% yesterday down to 43,000 to its lowest level in almost a month. It could have been El Salvador, or was it something else? Because there was a mysterious entity that suddenly decided to sell billions of dollars in Bitcoin right around the exact same time.
Elon.
Right. Was that Elon? Was it Michael Saylor? No, in fact, Michael Saylor just stocked up on more Bitcoin. And the El Salvadoran government also stocked up on more Bitcoin yesterday. So was this big sell-off like coincidence yesterday? I think not. I mean, all eyes are on Bitcoin yesterday. We expected a pump to be coming. So it was this sort of just like a sell-off to lock in profits, or was this air coming out of the market? Why this mysterious entity decided to sell yesterday?
Well, it could be that this entity was waiting, and this entity was nervous because if El Salvador adopts this and it went really well, then it would be a litmus test against the U.S. dollar. So they're like, look, when this happens, we have got to get this to go down to make it look like this is not a good idea, so that, it delegitimizes Bitcoin as a main currency.
Now, normally I would say, you're a cynical bastard. But I had the same thought. So then we're both cynical bastards then, because I thought the same thing. I thought, okay, the eyes of the world are on El Salvador. This is like the first sort of legitimizing moment for Bitcoin as a legal tender. And then some mysterious entity suddenly sells billions, dumps billions of Bitcoin onto the market. Who? China? I mean, who owns billion? I mean, who, or maybe the IMF? Who knows? That's the thing, right? We don't know who does.
So we don't know. Oh, I thought maybe you were going to be like, here's who it was.
No,
But
we don't know. We don't know. And who's going to know? It's anonymous. Who's going to know who suddenly, unless there's some sort of announcement? But I do know, I will say this, that Wall Street and a lot of other entities and governments around the world yesterday during this dip bought Bitcoin. So that's exciting and encouraging.
Well, and the thing is, we don't even know how much if there's a branch of our government that's holding a bunch and keeps buying it with our money. Like, we have no idea. We might actually have Bitcoin. Right. Our government may have. We have no idea.
I wouldn't be surprised at all by that. I wouldn't be surprised that our government is holding Bitcoin. Just the same that, we know that the SEC has been investigating Ripple Labs, for XRP. And of course, they're in that back and forth saying that it's a security, and they're currently dealing with this lawsuit. And XRP is just sort of sitting there waiting to do something, bounce or not, I don't know. And then last week, XRP basically said, hey, we'd like to know how many people in the SEC own our coin. Can you please disclose that? And the SEC said, no, we can't share that information. Wouldn't you like to know? Like, wait a minute, the SEC is investigating them. They're filing a lawsuit against them. Wouldn't it be interesting if members of the SEC actually had a vested interest in a coin? I'd like to know
damn
that.
Well, they do. It's just like Wall Street and everything with the Federal Reserve. Like they have tried Ron Paul tried several times. Rand Paul tried to get an audit of the Fed, and we have yet to ever see an audit of the Fed, because if we audited the Fed, we would realize where trillions and trillions of wasted dollars have gone, and they don't want us to know that.
Yeah. No, exactly. I'd like to know how much the SEC has invested in these companies that they're investigating. But it's a government. You're not allowed to. But we'll see if the judge agrees with them. I think it's a totally valid concern and question to raise.
And if you think that they do, you are a conspiracy theorist, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So those were two things yesterday. We had El Salvador had this botched rollout. The president, then later in the afternoon, the president of El Salvador came out and said, we got the bugs fixed. It had to do with the wallet, which was BitGo. There was just some, I don't know. There was a lot of traffic around this time yesterday, and there were some problems with these wallets. They got it ironed out, so good for them. Hopefully they've got it figured out down in El Salvador. And then the other thing is, of course, we had this mysterious dumping of a coin yesterday. So we don't exactly know, what happened, who's dumping all of these cryptos. And then on top of that, we have Coinbase. So Coinbase, of course, the largest crypto exchange in the United States. The SEC sent a letter to Coinbase yesterday saying, we're going to sue you for your new lend program, which would allow people to lend their cryptocurrencies out and make a return on that investment. It's basically staking and to receive interest rates.
That is a great idea. And does the person get to choose their own interest rate?
They don't get to choose their own interest rate, but they do get to choose like which coins they're staking and what kind of return they want to get. So they can choose based on those different interest rates, based on what's available.
Are you basically saying, so like if I was holding crypto, I had staked crypto, I could start loaning my crypto out to people? Mm-hmm. I think that is an amazing idea.
Yeah. However, the SEC doesn't like that idea, and they think that it stretches and goes into the realm of security.
Whatever. So it goes into the realm of the banks not getting their percentage.
Exactly. And so, and the same thing yesterday also, I received a letter from BlockFi, which is a competitor to Coinbase, saying we have every intention of, look at this. Like when you invest and you actually stake your currencies with them, when you stake your coins with them on one of their stable coins, you're earning interest. The same thing with BlockFi. Their GUSD coin, you can earn interest on it up to like a ridiculous, I think it's like you can earn like 10%. Just by having your money in their stable coin, which is a 1-for-1 US dollar. So the SEC wants to investigate. So then Coinbase's stock plummeted yesterday on that news. So it was really a triumvirate of things. El Salvador, this mystery dumper, and then Coinbase getting this letter from the SEC saying we're suing you. And their chief legal counsel at Coinbase was like, we got this letter that says they're going to sue us. We have no idea why. So this is going to be interesting. The SEC might be barking up the wrong tree here. We'll have to see. But
you know what though? Like you put yourself out there that hard with the wrong people, and they're going to end up with egg on their face because you know that those people are investing in this stuff. I mean, look at the Congress and Senate. Like, how many of these people are all invested in this stuff, and we have no idea what they're making behind the scenes, and they're able to manipulate the outcome.
Yeah, and we'll see. And by the way, the SEC. Don't they have bigger fish to fry? Like, what about all of these Wall Street firms that aren't paying any taxes? And can you team up with the IRS to go after these firms that are offshoring money and not paying any taxes and are involved in massive like insider trading, pump and dump schemes? Like, what about that? Instead of, people have an opportunity to earn some interest on some of their coins that are their stable coins backed by the US dollar at a 1-for-1 transaction. Let's go after them as a security. And by the way, how is it a security? How is it a security? I'd love for anyone to explain to me how that this is a stock versus property. Like, if I own Ethereum or I own Bitcoin or I own some other coin, that is property. And by the way, tell that to the IRS, which taxes it as property, by the way. Just like a house.
Imagine? You'd be able to bypass the bank to get a car and stuff and get better interest loans because you wouldn't have the same kind of credit system that these banks have. You could have your own like credit system, or it'd be people that you could like vet each person individually and be like, you know what, I know you're struggling or whatever, but you've got the coin in there to back it up. So I'm going to go ahead and loan you this money at like 2%.
Yeah. I mean, they don't like it. They don't like it. And they're spinning their wheels right now, trying to figure out what they can, how they can stop this. They didn't see this coming, and they're about to be hit with like a tsunami of change in the financial markets as the US dollar continues to decline. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. You can also become a channel member by going to morninginvest.com/join, where you can stick it to the mainstream media and support independent journalism. We're able to bring you the stories that you won't see on any of the major billionaire-backed networks. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time, everyone.